Stakes, and on the New South Wales tote, the North, number 4, 250-120. Number 3, West Point, $3, 140. They haven't forgotten the Victorian Express Age, as I said in the updater. He's been quite well tried, 550 and 170. They're the top three with 469,301 in the win pool currently. Now, Express Age comes forward. Beautiful day here, crowd building up, and will considerably do so after the running of this first fairly early getaway. North and Darren Beedman, one of many great rides on the program for Darren. It'll be a feast or a famine for him and his followers today. Feast or a famine? Well, let's hope everybody has their fair share of luck, whether you're punting or riding or whatever. All ready now. They're off in the Carbine Club Stakes, and Express Age was last out, and the early lead at Tembe taken on and headed by Imprison. Third, Kiwi Hero, a length to West Point, and then about 2 lengths to Super Steam. Express Age going up on the inside, then Something Special, and 2.5 to 3 lengths further back the North, given plenty of time by Beedman to find his legs. Down to the 1,200 metres, Greg Hall has Imprison bowling along by 3 lengths on Kiwi Hero. 3/4 to Tembe, a length and a half to West Point, and 3/4 to a length further back Super Steam. And then comes Express Age, and 2.5 further away Something Special ahead the North on the inside. Out of the back straight now and going to the High Street side, about 850 left to run, and Imprison bowling along about 3.5 lengths clear. Kiwi Hero travelling second, West Point third, Tembe on the inside of Super Steam, and Express Age out a little wide, and 2 to Something Special, keeping the North snookered as they race along towards the 650. There's no change in the order, and it's Imprison making play about a length and a half. Kiwi Hero getting closer. Third is West Point. He's 3 deep. On the fence is Tembe, followed by Super Steam. Express Age. The North very awkwardly placed on the rails next to last, and whipping the field in Something Special. Homeward bound on the Carbine Club, and Imprison in front. About 3/4 West Point, the immediate challenger. 1/3 is Kiwi Hero. The North trying to thread his way through the field, and then Super Steam. But West Point hits the front, 200 to go. A half Imprison. The North on the inside, picking up the bit. He's starting to charge the North. He's after West Point. Dion Beedman. The North goes to West Point, and the North gets up to beat West Point. Third, Super Steam, followed by Something Special. Kiwi Hero, then Tembe, Imprison Weekend, and beat one to the line, the Victorian Express Age.
Super Tab for the North to pay 250, 120. 3 West Point, 140. 7 Super Steam, 310.
60 and 120. Number 3 second. West Point Shane Dye has paid 140. And number 7, Super Steam, written by Brian York, third. And the dividend on the New South Wales tote, $3.20. Well, he got the breaks when they came his way, the North, and really capitalised on the inside run. He started to thread his way through the field up the rise, Darren. But when he really got a clear crack, the North, and he saw plenty of daylight, he really clenched that bit between his teeth. And he went out after West Point, and after a short, sharp struggle has done too well. By Marauding from Spring Thor, a beautifully bred 3-year-old brown gelding, and by the Woodland Stud, trained by John Hawkes. Beating West Point, a Baycal 3 by Dane Hill from Quarren TM, trained by Gay Waterhouse. And third, Super Steam, he's been racing well, by Alquaz from Rehearsed to Baycal 3, Frank Lewis, the trainer here at Randwick. Numbers are up 4, 3 and 7. The official 4th placing was number 9, and that was Something Special. The time was 1:35.25. 1:35.25. It's not all that far outside Golden Sword's race record of 1:34.9. My good pal Tony brings in the sectional. Thank you, sir. 35.05. 35.05. The Quinella, $3.20, the exacta in New South Wales, and it's paid $6.80, and the trifecta was $61.30. The margins are to come. Impressive Fernhill handicap. No scratchings, a field of 13 to run over the 1,600 metres. Keeping up, Mick Dittman drawn on the fence. Starter has the button. Racing in the Hickman's Fernhill Handicap, a good start too. One of the best to jump away was Mr. Atomic, jumping nicely too, keeping up, and right in the firing line is South Bend. Tertiary going fast with Pilfer, and Mon Prince is up looking for the lead. A length and a half to Snar Dame as South Bend gets back a little, followed by Salty Bombast. A length and a half then to Wender's Morning Top, Northern Talk, and last of all is Gimmick. They race along past the 1200 metres, and here Mon Prince joined again by Mr. Atomic, who goes to a narrow lead. Pilfer third on the outside of keeping up, a length and a half Snar Dame. A length then to Salty on the inside of Tertiary, closely followed by Bombast, and then South Bend. Northern Talk, Morning Top, Wenders, and 2 lengths further away is Gimmick. Down the side, going over the 850 crossing, and Mr. Atomic about 3/4 of a length now. Second posse is still being held by Mon Prince, and Snar Dame wider out third. Fourth on the inside is keeping up, and then Pilfer a length to Bombast, Salty the rails, followed by Tertiary and Northern Talk, Wenders. 2 lengths to South Bend, well out of his ground. Gimmick second last, and the tail ender is Morning Top as they come round the corner in the Fernhill. And Mr. Atomic first for home, a neck clear on Mon Prince, a length to Snar Dame. Pilfer and keeping up, trying to find their way into the clear, followed by Bombast, and then Salty, South Bend, and Northern Talk and Tertiary head the others. An exciting race, 200 to go. Snar Dame hits the front from Mon Prince and Mr. Atomic. Pilfer into the clear, Bombast, and here's Beedman on Salty coming quickly. The leader is Snar Dame for Die, but Beedman on Salty coming at him. Snar Dame still in front. Reckon Snar Dame might have just beaten Salty. Not much in it, however. Third, Bombast, followed home by Pilfer and Gimmick, and then Tertiary keeping up, and Mr. Atomic, Mon Prince, South Bend. Further away in the field then was Northern Talk, followed by Wenders and Morning Top at the tail of the field.
On the Super Tab, number 3, Snar Dame, 710 260, 7 Salty 170, 9 Bombast to pay 350, correct weight Adelaide.
Snar Dame might have had the nose in front of Salty. Die and Beedman fighting it out again, but we're not on the line. Let's have a look at this replay and see whether the camera's going to tell any difference. Oh, gee, I tell you what, there's not much in this. On the close shot, the inside horse looks to have just been able to score, but the long shot might make all the difference in the world. So it's a developed print between 3 Snar Dame, ridden by Shane Dye, and Darren Beedman's ride. Number 7, Salty, ridden by Darren. Now let's have
7 Salty, if it gets it on Super Tab, $4 the win.
And 260, and 7 Salty at 430 and 180. Here's the long shot I'm having a look at. The heads were totally out of sync again. Now the outside horse's head's gone down on the line. It's a developed print. It's that close. Salty's head has gone down on the line, which is going to give her a good chance. So, as I say, from where we stand, off the line, back about 4 lengths from the same, it did appear as though the inside nose might have just had the advantage. But then, when you look at the replay, and just the news coming from the judge's box, that off the projected image, the judge can't split them. He's called for the developed print. So, it could be a dead heat, it could be Snar Dame, or it could be Salty. So, repeating those totes, number 3, 710 and 260, Snar Dame, and Salty, number 7, at 430 and 180, and number 9, Bombast, I think, was third, and it would pay $3.30, not far back, Pilfer. Snar Dame was forced to cover a good deal of ground. It's been a fine performance, win or loss. The time for the race was 1:37. 1:37. Well, the first went to the north, Darren Beedman, by a short head from West Point, Shane Dye. And these 2 champion jockeys have fought out a tooth and nail struggle in the second race of the day. And remember the battle royals they had last year at one of the carnivals here? I think Shane looks the more confident on Snar Dame. He's coming back with the 2 clerks of the course, but oh boy, this is just so close that it could go either way. The big crowd here, I suppose at the moment we'd be looking at about, I suppose 28 to 30,000. And the eyes of many on the infield screen. And whilst awaiting the results, the market is now showing on the third. Number 1, Green Perfume at 23 and 580. Number 2, Confiscate, 320 and 120. Number 3, Obsessed, 12 and 350. Number 4, Over the Rising, 12 and 370. 5, Cool Choice, 270 and 130. Number 6, Just a Printer at 18 and 4. 7, Port Watch, 11 and 290. 8, Fleet Mirage, 25 and 580. 9, Galileo, 10 and 220, and 10, Flying Canterbury, 63 and 13. Early favourite, number 5, Cool Choice, Darren Beedman, 270. Number 2, Confiscate, Shane Dye, at $3.20. Well,
okay, still no result there. Brisbane race 1 in 3 from now. First Brisbane, 1 final bid.
It's a dead heat. Numbers 3, Snar Dame, Shane Dye. 7, Salty, Darren Beedman. And we've got to find the third placing, which will, in all likelihood, be number 9, Bombast. Yes, it is, number 9. The winners, Snar Dame by Snar D Bids Kid, Bay Filly 2, Bob Thompson, Shane Dye, Salty, Brown Filly 2, Quest for Fame, Happy Sailing, Johnny Hawks, Darren Beedman, and Bombast, a stablemate of Salty by Bellotto from La Grey Sale, Larry Cassidy. More news coming up, incorporating. And away they go. Flying Canterbury was last out of the machine. The imported Green Perfume, one of the best out. Confiscate and Port Watch jumped nicely. Galileo's out pretty wide, followed by the favourite Cool Choice. A length and a half, Just a Printer. Then over the rising Fleet Mirage. Obsessed is second last. And 2 further back, Flying Canterbury. Onto the course proper near the 950, and Green Perfume is the leader, about a length and a half. Port Watch travelling third, Confiscate on the outside of Cool Choice, and off the track Galileo. Then Just a Printer. Over the rising the fence, and then Fleet Mirage around Obsessed, and 2 Flying Canterbury. They head along past the 700, and Green Perfume about a half length on Galileo. Port Watch running third, Confiscate fourth, then over the rising and Cool Choice, a couple Just a Printer. Obsessed on the inside. Next to last is Fleet Mirage, and another 3 lengths to Flying Canterbury. Coming to the corner, they're pretty well strung out, and Green Perfume giving back as a sight leads about 3/4 of a length on Galileo. 3 to Confiscate, and then Port Watch followed by over the rising Cool Choice, and need to get a spurt on, and then Just a Printer, but Galileo runs to Green Perfume, and Galileo a half Green Perfume, a couple Confiscate, a length to Cool Choice and Just a Printer. Galileo down to the 120, a length and a half, Confiscate, Cool Choice and Green Perfume. Galileo the leader, Confiscate is going to get him though. Dye working overtime, and it's Confiscate from Galileo. Obsessed may have nosed Green Perfume for third, and then Just a Printer with Cool Choice. A break to Fleet Mirage, Flying Canterbury over the rising, and last Port Watch.
Super Tab number 2, Confiscate, 320, 140, 9 Galileo, 250, 3 Obsessed, 340.
See the Victorian disappointed there. Number 9, Galileo, ridden by Larry Cassidy. Probably 1 run short, and it was a good effort. He was wide early. Larry was in 2 minds what to do, whether to stay up there or go back. He went back for a while, then he went forward, and he's just been nailed. And the dividend is 260. And number 3, Obsessed, might have just nailed Green Perfume for third. And if so, Obsessed number 3, $3. If it's 1 Green Perfume, $4.70. Standing by for them. Now the PJ Bell handicap field is just about set for action. Tipsy Feeling back in the stalls again. So we'll soon see a start. Racing, and one of the best to get going was Peachtree Road. Stonyfell Road is looking for the lead, and Lady Bureaucrat is right up there with Blue Beans, and settling. Blue Beans leads Stonyfell Road on the fence, Lady Bureaucrat, and then Crying, followed by Dane Ripper, Law of Logic, and then Lady Capel. Tipsy Feeling drifting back, and then Flapper, followed by Peachtree Road and Jezebel last. 800 left to go, and Blue Beans in front by a length and 3/4 on Stonyfell Road. Law of Logic next on the fence is Lady Bureaucrat, a length further off and wide out Dane Ripper. 2 lengths to Lady Capel, and then Tipsy Feeling Crying the rails from Peachtree Road Flapper, and Jezebel is the tail ender travelling in the direction of the corner. 500 out, and Blue Bean shows the way, nearly a length on Stonyfell Road. Lady Bureaucrat locked away, Dane Ripper wider out, and then Law of Logic, Tipsy Feeling, Lady Capel is cluttered in, and then Flapper and Crying. 300 to go. Blue Beans joined again by Stonyfell Road, but Dane Ripper as D. Beedman gives her full rein. The big horse raced up and takes the lead from Stonyfell Road and Blue Beans. Then Law of Logic, forget Lady Capel. Dane Ripper shouldering a 58 in great style, and she'll win. It's Dane Ripper, another one for Beedman. Beats Stonyfell Road and Law of Logic, followed by Blue Beans. Crying, Lady Bureaucrat, Lady Capel, a weak performance, and then Peachtree Road, Tipsy Feeling, Jezebel, and Flapper last. By gee, she's a good filly. Number 1, Dane Ripper, ridden by D. Beedman, wins the Jim Bell handicap. Has paid $3.60 and $1.60. $3.60 and $1.60. Number 1, Dane Ripper, has beaten 3, Stonyfell Road, ridden by C. Carmody, $2.70. And number 11 will get third, Law of Logic, ridden by L. Beasley, and it will pay around $7.10.
Dane Ripper Super Tab, 350, 150. 3, Stonyfell Road, 250. 11, Law of Logic, 830.
They've had horses for a long, long time. The Codner family had a good one many years ago. Burr Oak, no champion, but very honest. And this filly, bred by the Codners, by Dane Hill from their mare Red Express. And as I said in the call, she shouldered that 58 in magnificent style. And I know there's only one turn to get around here from the 1200, but she was wide all the way. And when Darren Beedman called on her, she really put a hard on the right spot, and she tried every inch of the way down to the post and has scored narrowly but nevertheless convincingly. Stonyfell Road second. She's a filly by Sovereign Red from Archduchess, a chestnut trained by Ron Quinton. And number 11 third, Law of Logic, a bay filly by Zeditive from Quinta, Bob Thompson, Len Beasley. The official fourth was Blue Beans, number 9, who did a good job at this, her first run since the 18th of December. Oh, Lady Capel. Gee, we've seen a couple of ordinary runs from the Victorians this afternoon. Cool Choice in race 3 and Lady Capel in race 4. Oh, very ordinary indeed. Thanks, Tony. A length by a length the margins. 1:10.16 the time. A length both ways, 1:10.16, 34.25 the sectional time. The Quinella paid $16, an exacta of $31.90, and the trifecta $531.60. Now, Dale Walker's got the markets update. Race 3 in Brisbane is 370 and 180. 2 Ton per Lane, 780 and 240. And number 3, Ebony Grove, 910 and 260. They're the horses under double figures. Previous race going to Dane Ripper. D. Beedman, number 1, beat 3 Stonyfell Road, 11 third, Law of Logic. Confiscate, number 2, Shane Dye took the second. Dead Heat, the third race, number 2, Confiscate, the second a Dead Heat. 3, Snar Dame, Shane Dye, and 7, Salty, Darren Beedman. And number 4, the North, Darren Beedman, on the first event of the day. Gee, we'll never forget last year's derby. What a thrilling finish. Octagonal getting up in the last couple of strides to beat Saintly. And, of course, third placing to Falante. Nothing like a day, not all that far away. Denendry favourites. Darren Beedman in the saddle for trainer Bart Cummings. Into Gayers. Racing in its original colours today. The blue and white diagonal stripes raced in blue and green this time back. Now, we've got Denendry to move up to gate 16. Grand Master has drawn on the inside. Turn Me Loose, Grand Master and Denendry, the 3 J.B. Cummings representatives in the derby. And they look to be just about right. Yep, Denendry's in. Ready for the 1997 AJC Australian Derby. Racing in the derby, and that was a great start too. Torbellino from a wide alley, one of the leaders. Don Tristram is going up quickly, and so too Grand Master. And Turn Me Loose and Flag Jacket not far away, and then comes Might and Power, followed by Captain Moonlight. Torbellino getting back a bit now. And then Tarn Per Lane, Heroes Return, Star Covered. All Craig Carmody's got into gaze nicely across onto the rails. Good bit of riding. And then Gwen Gedder, Emerald Cut, He's a Dane, 2 Denendry, and a half length to Ebony Grove. Don Tristram goes to the front in the derby, and as they race out of the straight and go along towards the 1800, Don Tristram opens up 2.5 lengths. Turn Me Loose. 2 to Flag Jacket, 3/4 the fence, Grand Master, then Might and Power inside Torbellino. A couple of lengths to Captain Moonlight, a length to Tarn Per Lane, 1 off the rails, and 3 Heroes Return. At his quarters, the outside Star Covered as they string out. Into gaze next from Gwingana, Emerald Cut. Then He's a Dane, Denendry second last, and 2 to Ebony Grove. Around 20 lengths would cover the derby. Field down the back, 1400 to go, and Don Tristram loping along at his leisure. By 4 lengths on Turn Me Loose. Third is Flag Jacket, then Grand Master. Torbellino going up quickly. 2 to Might and Power, a length and a half to Captain Moonlight. Similar gap, Tarn Per Lane. Heroes Return on its inside from Star Covered. Into gaze on the fence from He's a Dane, Gwingana. Emerald Cut, Denendry, 1 off the rails, and 3 to Ebony Grove. Strung out like Brown's cows as they go round the far corner, 9:50 to run. And Don Tristram comes back to to Torbellino. 3/4 is his advantage. 3 lengths to Turn Me Loose. A length the Grandmaster. Further back, Flak Jacket to Might and Power. Then Captain Moonlight, a couple to Heroes Return. 3/4 Tarn Per Lane the outside, and 2 to Star Covered. Into Gaze on its inside, and then He's a Dane, Gwyn Ganner, Emerald Cut. Denendry a mile back, second last, and 3 further back is Ebony Grove. 600 out on the Derby, and Don Tristram 3/4 Torbellino. Third Posse Turn Me Loose from Grandmaster, Flag Jacket, Might and Power. Captain Moonlight to the outside, and Tarn Per Lane likewise. Then Heroes Return, Star Covered, and Denendry's got 5 behind her, and Into Gaze is starting to thread his way through the field as they come to the 200 horses right across the track, where on the outside Tarn Per Lane. Grandmaster got into some trouble. He's coming into it. Here's Denendry and Ebony Grove. Diane Beatman, Denendry and Ebony Grove. Hammer and Tong. Ebony Grove doing better, and Ebony Grove wins the Derby. Ebony Grove, a half head Denendry. Photo third between Into Gaze and Might and Power. Followed home then by on the outside Tarn Per Lane. Then came Grandmaster, had a bumping duel in the straight. Good margin off Heroes Return, and then Captain Moonlight, Emerald Cut, and then Star Covered, Torbellino, Gwyn Gunner, Flak Jacket, Turn Me Loose, and Don Tristram, and He's a Dane near enough to the tail of the field.
Super Tab, the 3 Ebony Grove, 890, 250, number 16, Denendry to return 160. Those for third, 1 Into Gaze, 170, or 7 Might and Power, 780.
Have a look at the slow motion replay. It'll be surprising if the inside horses won. Now Ebony Grove will get there. Ebony Grove, I feel, has won the Derby, written by Shane Dye. $9 and $2.60. By gee, it was a bit rough in the straight. Denendry, Darren Beatman, when they jumped away, was $3.10 and $1.60. And Into Gaze is prominent in a photo finish for third. There's the winner. 3:16 and one of the officials in the Derby. Number 3, Ebony Grove, written by Shane Dye. $9 and $2.60. Number 16, Denendry, Darren Beatman, has paid $1.60. And number 1, Into Gaze, written by C. Carmody, has paid $1.70. What a great Derby, continuing the tradition that this mighty race has enjoyed. Ebony Grove, well, many of us gave him away today. I remember Graham Rogerson saying to me last spring, he said, you watch this horse in the autumn. He said, he will be a real Derby horse. Well, he was beaten a mile on the Mercedes last week, 6.3 lengths. I know that he was at weight for age. He plugged in the Rosehill Guineas, beaten 3 lengths. He plugged in the Canterbury Guineas, 7.2 lengths. But the real Ebony Grove stood up today, and he won in a terrific finish by half a head, with 1 length between second and third. And what an impact on the Australian racing scene have these 2 unbelievably great jockeys in Beatman and Dye. Dye winning the battle there. So today, Beatman beat Dye a short head in the first. The 2 of them dead heated in the second. Dye won the third, Beatman out of the place. Beatman won the fourth. And now Dye has outpointed Beatman a half head in the Derby. The winner, Ebony Grove, by Grosvenor from Dusky Rosa, trained by Graham Rogerson for C.E. Buckingham and T.G. Tobin, was able to have the horse at his peak right on Derby Day. Trained, obviously, with this 1.5 mile race as his main mission, and it's been a fine training performance. Number 16, Denendry, by Dane Hill from Stormy Exchange, Bart Cummings, Darren Beatman, and number 1, Into Gaze, by Integra Temper Gaze, Rod Craig, Craig Carmody, and number 7 was 4th, Might and Power. The time was 2:28.83, 2:28.83, that's 0.42 outside Octagonal's race record. The sectional was 35.84, 35.84, and we'll have more on the Derby in a moment. Great race, Dale. Last year's Doncaster going to sprint by, and a great finish.
Brisbane to Juba.
Little reluctant to move in here. And the top weight, All Our Mob, being just kept on the move by an attendant with Shane Dye in the saddle. Shane and Darren have loved the program between them today. The 4th, Dane Ripper, Darren Beatman. The 3rd, Confiscate, Shane Dye. Snar Dame, Shane, and Salty Darren dead heated in the 2nd, and Darren won the 1st on the north. Darren on the favourite here, Cattle and Opening. Shane on All Our Mob. 2nd pick on the New South Wales Tote Shame. Now, Ken Bell is in by the look of things. Field of 12, Moore Ward and Monet's Cove out. Smallest Doncaster lineup for about 43 years. But a big betting race. Just over 1.8 million on the New South Wales tote at the moment. And all our mob is right. Ken Bell has settled. Kingston Bay on the inside. He's been across the Tasman many an occasion. Kingston Bay. Set now. They're racing in the 1997 Doncaster handicap and got them to a good start. Secret Savings, one of the leaders with Ravada. Brackenbury third, then All Our Mob and Kingston Bay, then Catalan opening. Pragmatism caught out wide from Iron Horse and then Shame, a length and a half to Ken Bell. Similar margin Buzz Off and Anthems last of all. Down the back they go, along towards the 1200 metres, and here Ravada is the leader now from All Our Mob. Secret Savings third. Kingston Bay is on the rails fourth, then Brackenbury. Pragmatism wide out. A break to Shame at off the track. Catalan opening further back in the field. Then comes Iron Horse, who's over on the inside of the favourite, about a length and a half to Buzz Off. Second last is Ken Bell, and a length further away as they come down the side. Anthems around about 10 lengths between first and last. 8.50 left to run, and Ravada leads the way. About 3/4 of a length on the top weight. All Our Mob travelling third on the rails. Kingston Bay, one out, one back. Secret Savings, then Shame, followed by Pragmatism, Brackenbury, Buzz Off, Catalan opening. Further away is Iron Horse, 2 lengths to Ken Bell and a half length to Anthems. The Doncaster field is making its way around the home corner, and Ravada first into the straight, 3/4 of a length on All Our Mob. Secret Savings coming around the 2 leaders, followed by Kingston Bay. Shame trying to push out, and then comes Catalan opening, called upon now from Pragmatism, and 2 lengths to Buzz Off, and then Ken Bell. All Our Mob hits the front, 2.50 to run. Secret Savings after it. They've beaten off Ravada, then Catalan opening, Shame and Buzz Off. Secret Savings and All Our Mob, the Waterhouse horses. Secret Savings doing too well, and 4 Doncaster straight to Gay Waterhouse. Secret Savings beats All Our Mob and Ravada from Buzz Off with Shame. Further back, Brackenbury, Pragmatism, Catalan opening, followed home by Kingston Bay, Ken Bell, Iron Horse, and Anthems was last of all.
Number 2, Secret Savings, 12.90, 3.70. Number 1, All Our Mob, 2.10, and 7, Ravada, 3.60.
Has paid officially $10 neat and 3.20. $10 neat and 3.20. Number 1, All Our Mob, $1.90, and number 7, Ravada, has paid $3.70. An imported horse, Secret Savings, a bay horse 6 by Seeking the Gold from Jurisdictional, raced by H.E. Nasser Luter. L. Cassidy in the saddle, beating the stablemate, and what a gallant stablemate too, All Our Mob, by What a Guess from All Sold. T.J. Smith and T. Huang race. G. Waterhouse, of course, trains R.S. Dye Road. And number 7, third, Ravada. Bay horse 4, Rave Report, Liquada. Brian Guy Rosehill for himself and wife Kerry, and Mr. K.R. Young, Len Beasley. The official 4th was number 4, Buzz Off, and number 6, Shame. Gee, there's a bit of scrambling there when Shame was trying to ease into the open in the home straight, about 300 to travel, and she's run officially 5th. The disappointment of the race, I know he covered a bit of ground, but gosh, Catalan opening, there must be 2 of him.
Daily double, $50.20.
Little operation, making him a bit lighter, and with what he did last week, oh yeah, he's very genuine now. He didn't go on with it today, so maybe that gelding just wasn't all it was cracked up to be. 217, Quinella, $19.30. Exacta, $55. The trifecta, $746.90. The margins, a long neck by 3/4 of a length. A long neck, 3/4 the time, 135.50, 135.50. They went the first 800 in 49.56, the last 600 in a slick 33.81. Had a beautiful run, Secret Savings, 1 out, 1 back, tackled the leaders as they topped the rise, and just wore down the stablemate All Our Mob. And what a great buy this fella's been. Secret Savings was purchased as a sire to stand at Nasser Luter's property, and given to Gay. She's had him for 4 starts, first 2 wins in the Clissold, and then the Newcastle Newmarket, ran 3rd in the Rider, and he's won the Doncaster handicap. So the last 4 to Gay, Pharaoh, Sprint By, and Secret Savings. Okay, we're getting close elsewhere. Let's confirm the Sydney totes. New South Wales tabs on the Doncaster. Number 2 paid $10 and $3.20 Secret Savings. Number 1 All Our Mob paid $1.90. Number 7 Third Ravada paid $3.70. The Quinella $19.30. The Exacta 55 even, $55. It's an exuberant Gay Waterhouse again. By golly, I know now why she didn't stay in Dubai. There was Juggler undernight. The Quinella $19.30, $55 Exacta. The trifecta $746.90 and the running double $114.10. We'll be back shortly with the opening call on race 7, the Chairman's Handicap.
TAB dividends are brought to you by the Club.
Sydney Cup is the Group 3 Chairman's Handicap, ready to run. They're off. Nice start, came away in a good even line, and it'll be